Well, what an interesting few weeks it's been. The Guardian investigation about Cambridge Analytica and Facebook has been the catalyst to bring GDPR and the notion of data privacy and data ownership to the fore. The fact that Mark Zuckerberg has had to testify in front of the Congress and the Senate in the US, it's been front page news. It means that consumers are now talking about their personal data. And I promised in a previous blog that I'd talk about how I see advertising changing. You see, advertising has been around in its current format for more than 50 years. The notion that you would see a piece of content, that piece of content would be interrupted in some way, you would hear a paid promotional message, and then it will continue. Good example, I no longer see many ads at all. I have an ad blocker. And a few months ago, there was a TV program called Cold Feet in the UK. Hadn't been on for several years. It was must-see TV. And so 9 o'clock on a Friday night, I sat down, I started watching it. 12 or 15 minutes into the program stopped and these messages popped up, and I had to remind myself that I was seeing an ad because I subscribe to Netflix, so I have unlimited movies with no ads. I subscribe to Amazon, so I see their movies as well without any charge. And Spotify, I have a subscription as well, so for £10 a month, I no longer hear ads. So for me to hear an ad, it's quite strange. What the whole Facebook crisis has brought out is that their advertising model, their business model, is completely reliant on advertising. I think during the Senate testimony, Zuckerberg said that 85% or more than their revenue came from advertising. So if people like me are starting to block ads, if the GDPR legislation is going to clamp down on what data you can actually use, their business model is at risk. And so is Twitter, and so is Google, and so on. We've seen that advertising companies and the network of advertising companies are reporting that revenues are down. Digital disruption is taking hold, Martin Sorrell has been saying. Well, it's been happening for some time. And when I talk about this notion of the new way of advertising and information exchange, if I presented at a conference where there are people that work in the advertising industry, they literally laugh me off the stage. But everywhere else I've spoken about this, people have gone, you might just be right, because we need a new model. We need a model where it isn't about trying to give people more ads. Recently, YouTube said that they're going to increase the frequency or increase the excitement levels from the skippable ads. And the thing is that YouTube allow you to skip ads because we don't like ads. And they know that. If YouTube knew that we love 30-second pre-roll ads, then they would have them on all the time. The fact that you can skip an ad after 3 or 6 seconds, the fact that YouTube are now trying to make that 3 or 6 second bit of real estate more interesting is because consumers don't want to see ads. Now, we know with the whole Facebook expose that there is a value exchange, that we give data to Facebook and they provide that to advertisers, and we hope that we see relevant ads. And Zuckerberg has said that he knows people don't like seeing ads, but they like seeing relevant ads. Well, I beg to differ. I don't like advertising at all. And so here's what I think will happen in under 5 years. We will stop seeing ads in the current format. Ads will be read by robots. Now let me explain. I think in under 5 years what will happen is that consumers, empowered consumers such as myself, will start to say, I want complete ownership and control of my data. Not the Facebook view where they said, well, once you've signed on, we won't give your data to anyone, but we'll serve ads against that. No, no, no. I want to hold my data on my server, and I'm happy to pay for that. I'm happy to pay $500, maybe £1,000 a year to have a service where all the data sits on my server. Now, Facebook, if you want to serve me an ad, you have an API, an application program interface, a machine-to-machine call to my server to say, hi, it's Facebook here. We would like to get in touch with Andrew. We'd like to provide an ad to Andrew, and here's our fair value exchange. It's either a discount, it's some cryptocurrency, it's cash. And if my digital agent has been taught by me to allow that type of advertising, that type of information, it'll be let through. But I still won't see it. You see, I think we'll actually have robots reading ads. I think we will live in a world in under 5 years where we'll have digital agents that are smart enough, that learn our preferences, that are able through this GDPR legislation to go out and get information from all our providers. So basically, from the 25th of May, I can electronically ask all of my providers for information held on me. Give you an example. So my health insurance is due in November. So I teach my digital agent, I give it all the information about all of my suppliers, all of the things that I buy, and it knows that my health insurance is due. So it goes off and talks to the digital agents from all of the companies that I deal with or could deal with, and says basically, what's your best deal? One particular company comes back, it's within my thresholds, it's within a company that I like, ethically they're great, they've got good reputation. And the company says digitally to my digital assistant, if Andrew gives us a one-time hash encrypted version of his Fitbit's health data, we'll give you a 40% discount if you're healthy. So that's within my tolerance. So my agent goes off and it gives the one-time encrypted data to the health provider to show that I'm healthy. And the health provider comes back and said, yep, we've signed you up. So I get home and the AI assistant has done it all for me. I haven't had to touch anything. I haven't had to do the research. I haven't had to check comparison websites. It's all done for me. Like having a human assistant sitting next to you doing all those chores you don't want to do. Now, this is possible, but what's happening at the moment is a lot of companies are out there. There's companies like People.io, Digi.me. Whenever I talk about this, people say, Andrew, we've got the problem solved, but they haven't. They are using the traditional advertising model, and the ones that I've looked at generally basically say, sign up here, give us all the details, and we'll give you a discount or we'll give you money every time you look at ads. No, 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 no. You're not listening. I'm not going to see ads. I don't want to get a discount for seeing ads. I want a fair value exchange for using my data. And so if I hold my data on my server under my terms, then you've got to come looking for me. And your AI robot, your AI assistant on your side has got to have a compelling offer that my digital agent will accept. So I don't think it's so far-fetched that within 5 years or so, empowered consumers will really control their data. So it'll be an advertiser saying, we'll give you a yearly discount, we'll give you a yearly value exchange in order to receive information. Now, there might be a staged approach. It might be that I still physically see ads, but they're very, very filtered by my agent to be things that I really would be interested in and are not going to waste my time. And the next phase is when I no longer see them. So every bit of content I see is ad-free, but it's powered by my digital agent going out there and doing digital deals. With AI the way it's coming along, I think that is technically possible, ethically possible, and the other great thing, the other great catalyst is GDPR. Now, I've been banging on about this for weeks and weeks and weeks. It's less than 6 weeks away. And the more I delve into it, the more I talk to experts that have spent the time going through the hundreds of pages of legislation and working out what it means, the more I see this as a complete watershed moment for the advertising industry. It's going to become harder and harder to grab people's data and then advertise to them. So you need to think differently. You need to think about the fair value exchange and think about that being done electronically. Because going forward, I don't think we want to see any more ads. We want to have a fair value exchange for the use of our data, and we want to see information that is useful and relevant. What do you think?